Right.
Oh, we have a legend in the building right now.
You are made for me.
Yes. How are you doing today, Kima?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Long day. Can't complain. Breathing.
I'm going to start off by saying congratulations on 26 years in this industry.
Heck, has it been that many years? I feel like I'm still only 26.
You left a landmark in this music industry. How does that feel for you?
I mean, it feels good. It feels good. I feel accomplished. You know, I have some stories to tell. You can Google me, and it actually has some content to my name. So yeah, I feel good. I feel good. I feel good to have been a part of all of that.
Okay, so you planted your seed in the industry and then it flourished. And you also planted your own seed and she's flourishing right now.
Yes, she is. There she is. Kima Marie.
How's it going, Kima Marie? So, Kima, so you being in the industry for 26 years, you know the ups and downs. So when your daughter approached you and told you that she wanted to pursue a career in this industry, what was your initial reaction?
My instant reaction was go for it. You know, I just told her it's not easy. You know, it's a hard industry. You know, no cut cards. You got to take it serious. You got to be about your business. You got to master your craft. You got to write your own music. You got to be your own person, and you got to stand for what you believe in. So that's, you know, and they didn't even know. She found out when I was like 8 years old, because it's nothing I really ever wanted to push on them. Like, I wanted them to want to do it on their own. I didn't want them to do it because I did it. I don't want her to, you know, feel like she has to follow in my footsteps and do anything she doesn't want to do. I want her to be her own person, and that's what I've always told her.
Okay. So, Kima Marie, so at what point in life did you fall in love with music and you told yourself, this is a path that I want to take, and why?
I always like used to sing when I was like younger and stuff, but I didn't want to like start getting into music for real and like become an artist until after my mom came off of the Bad Boy reunion tour in like
2016.
Yeah.
2016. Yep, because I was there when you made the pit stop in Atlanta.
Yep. Yeah, we had a show in Atlanta. She went with us to a lot of the local shows here.
Okay.
And she's trying to help me get my phone together. And took her on the West Coast part of the tour, and she just loved it. And after we came home, and she was like, "Mom, I want to do that." And I was just like, "Okay, it's not easy. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It's not an easy business. People ain't gonna care about your feelings.
Right.
If you want to do it, you better get yourself ready."
So growing up in the household, what total songs were you singing in the household?
What total songs was I singing in the household?
No, was she singing in the household?
What's your favorite total songs that you sing in the household?
What's that one I did a cover to? Is that One More Chance?
Well, that's a biggie. That's
One More Chance. That's a follow-up question.
I don't wanna think that one.
Yeah, what's the name of that song?
I
don't wanna. That Missy second album. That's one of her favorite songs.
And then One More Chance.
One More Chance is Biggie.
Yeah. And speaking of Biggie and One More Chance, you covered One More Chance, and you also paid homage to Mary J. Blige on Be Happy as well on that one track. So that's a classic right there. How hard was the pressure going into the studio mastering that track?
I mean, I didn't really feel no pressure for real, but it was fun doing the song and like making it like this era and then part of my generation, but still having the old school like beat. That's what I like about a lot of my music, because like a lot of my music has like old school feeling beats, but like new school lyrics.
So your current single is Pressure. So tell us more about that single.
So Pressure, that's like a little vibing song. I wrote it one day, like when I was just in the house. Well, I had came back in the house and I was just chilling, and I was like, oh, I want to write a little fun song. And at first, it was just a fun song. Like I wasn't even planning on like releasing it or nothing like that. It was just like to write, but a different content than just like love and stuff like that. I just wanted to write something different. So, and then it just turned out kind of nice and vibey.
And she sung it for us one day, and I was like,
Oh,
I don't know. The content is a little like, I don't know, but Dad was all for it. And I had to really, because the song is about a weed experience.
yeah.
And I was just like, you know, like me being mom, I was like, I don't know, but I had to kind of like dig deep, because I do appreciate the fact that my kids, we can openly talk about what they have experienced, what they've seen people experience. And I was very proud of her for putting that into content, that it could be relatable, but I still was like, okay, I don't know. But we released it, and it's a great record. It's a great record. She wrote it all herself. She did all her artwork. She did everything on her own, and that's what I'm mostly proud of.
So you being a mom, so how hard is it for you to take 2 steps back when it comes to the project?
Initially it was a little hard, but right now it's not hard at all. I just let her be her own artist, because I'm an advocate for being yourself. I don't even really go in the studio with her, because I want her to be Kima Marie. I don't want to instill any of my fears or any of my thoughts into what she's doing. I let her dad take her in the studio. We totally let her create her own sound. She find her own beats, and she'll come home and play it for me, and I may critique her a little bit. But other than that, you know, I kind of just fall back and watch from the sidelines.
So with Pressure being a dope song, can we expect a video?
A video, where right now with the COVID thing, I don't know. You know, like right now we playing everything by ear and taking it day by day. I don't know if we will get around to actually doing any visuals for that. We're talking about it, but right now she's working on the EP, which is what we're really going to get behind and promote. She was in the studio all day today working on songs that she's going to put on her EP. And Pressure was kind of like an introduction to her writing skills. Yeah.
Okay, so with the EP, what direction are you guys going to?
It's relationship driven. It definitely has like, she's
more like
old
a breakup.
school. Yeah, well, still breakup, makes up. It's about relationships. Like she revenge. She just really dig deep, and she has this one song that I particularly want to go on the record. It's called Mirrors, and it's a very conscious song about how I feel like, you know, like it's more like about people's your self-esteem, like you loving yourself. So she's very deep. She got this other record called Demons, like, and it's about a relationship and how that's toxic. And she's,
because Demons, I saw this quote. It was like she helped you fight your demons and you became hers. That's kind of what Demons reminds me of.
Right. So she's very deep. When she came, she actually started writing during this whole COVID quarantine thing. Like I told her like a while ago, like we were working on stuff with her and we had writers, and some of the content to me was just like, I don't think she can relate. And I could tell she wasn't able to relate, because you could just hear it in how she was executing everything. I was like, some of these experiences she hasn't had, she can't relate to them. So I was like, you have to start writing your own stuff. And she was just like, I don't think I can't. So during the quarantine, she just started writing stuff and singing it to us. So we put her in the studio, and, you know, we solely support her voice. Like, so, and she had this little boyfriend, and, I could tell they kind of broke up, but she never told me the story. So I'm listening to the songs. I was like, okay, now you have an experience that you can kind of feed off of and write to and relate to. So that's how her EP is coming along.
And those be the hit records.
Yeah, service announcement. Everything I write about is not like personal. Like
I know it's not personal.
I know, but I don't want that little boy thinking like everything I'm writing about is personal because yeah, but everything I write about is not personal. It's like just stuff I know all young girls go through, like women go through, in general, like stuff females go through. Not just me, but some stuff I have, but not everything.
So, Marie, so after you write a song and before you head to the studio, does mom and dad have to review the song?
I mean, they don't really have to like review it, but like I'll sing it to them, and I'll be like, "Oh, do you guys like it?" And they'll tell me yes or no. Like, well, normally it's yes, but they don't really like review it because like they don't tell me. Like at first, I couldn't like write, I couldn't curse and stuff like that. But now that I'm writing my own stuff, it's a little different because like I guess since I'm writing it, they could tell this stuff like I actually feel is my own expression and stuff like that. So not really like review as in if, oh, you can't sing this, you can't sing that, because I already know like certain stuff I can't write about, so I just won't go ahead and write about it. So
yeah, and I mean, to me, you can never kill a person's creativity, so I'm never going to tell her. It's one thing recording, it's another thing putting it out to the public. So I mean, she can always go in the studio and just put things down. I tell her, be open to everything. Like, I'm the type, I'll hear a record and it's not that I'll be like, oh, I don't like this record. I'll go in there and record it anyway, because you never know how it's going to come along. You visit that thought after you sit back and you listen to it and you be like, nah, this is not that. You know, you just put it to the back of your catalog. So we're pretty open when it comes to her being creative with her music.
Perfect. So after you release, well, speaking of the EP, you pick a date for it as far as a release date?
No, we don't have a release date yet for the EP because we're still working on songs. She's still writing
haven't made final cuts.
We haven't made any final decisions. The beautiful thing is we're in no rush.
Exactly.
Yeah, no rush.
So can we get a mother and daughter collaboration?
Yes, we're working on it. We're trying to find the right song. We're trying to find the right song. Like, we talked about redoing a total record. It's just finding the right fit. It's just finding the right fit that's gonna fit us.
Okay. So, Kima Marie, what experience have you experienced so far that helped mold you to a better artist?
Well, I would just say like going on tour with my mom, like seeing how like Puffy, Diddy, whatever they call him, like Love, like so many names. Seeing like how he was like, my mom used to always tell me like when they used to be in the studio, he was rude and stuff like that. But I didn't really see that side of him. But I saw like how he could get rude, or like I got to go to the rehearsals too. So like I see what it takes to be like good. To like they had their reunion tour was great. Like, I don't know, it was so good. I really enjoyed that, and I didn't even really listen to 90s music, so I was just like, wow, like I just know like I see what it takes to put on a good show and like good performances and make good music for everybody ear, and like see it just stretch out. And like what's the word that he said y'all music should be?
Universal.
No, timeless. Yeah,
yes,
timeless music, timeless. Yeah, yes.
And that's one thing that you need to take away. If you don't take anything away from your mom, take away from timeless music. Because when it comes to total, you can play a total track right now or 20 years from now and it'll still be relevant. So when you're in that studio recording, implement that in your record. Timeless.
Timeless. Yes. And that's another reason why I don't go with her to the studio, because I turn into Diddy. It's like, you know, like that whole critiquing thing. And I know for me, like, it, you know, now back then I couldn't really like appreciate it because I just thought he was being harsh. But, you know, as I got older now, it's just like, you know, it was just to make me better, to pull something, you know, to pull more out of me. So I try not to be like that with her, because sometimes I see, like, I did notice initially when I was going in with her and critiquing her, she would kind of like shut down and stuff like that. So I kind of like just let her go in, and when I'm home, I'll critique it, you know, more in private and stuff like that.
Okay, so Kima Marie, as far as your EP, what do you want your fans to take away from it?
Um, I mean, like, what's the message from the EP?
The message from the EP is also, how do you want to build your fan base before your LP comes out?
So what's my message? Yeah. So like how you be like women. Yeah.
Oh, so when I'm like, my message as a like artist, I want girls to do what they want to do. Like, I hate the whole like, oh, you can't do this, that, and the third because you're a girl. Like, that's another reason why I kind of like, when it was a debate on if I should put out pressure or not in the household, like I was really like pressing it because I was just like, if I was my brother at 17, would we be having half of these conversations? And then once I made that point, like my parents, well, my mom kind of see where I was coming from. And then, so that's just me as an artist. I don't want to set boundaries for myself just because I'm a female. I want to break those boundaries as a female. So I just want all like my fans and stuff like that just to like do whatever they want for real, because I feel like girls like hold their self, like they put their self in like a box because they think like, oh, I'm a girl, I can't do this, or girl, I should act a certain way. But I just think it's all the way society makes us feel, and I don't like that. I feel like as a girl, we should be able to do what we want, like, you know, say what we want.
Did you pick a name for your fans?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay. So, Kima, I heard your single "Love Me Back" is such a great song.
Thank you.
So, how was the transition from being in a group and into going into the studio by yourself?
It wasn't hard initially. To be honest, "Love Me Back" was gonna be. I presented that for a Total record because let me tell you, like, how I love Total as a whole. I love the group. You know what I'm saying? I wish we were still together as a group. I know what we do together as a group. I know our fans want us as a group. When we decided that we weren't recording anymore, I had already recorded the song and I was just like, hey, I'm going to put it out. You know, so it's not, I love recording. So it's nothing for me to go in the studio and record a record. It felt a lot different once I got up there on stage by myself to perform the song. And I was just like, I miss my girls. You know what I'm saying? We should be doing this together. And that's how I honestly feel about that whole situation. And I put it out just for personal fulfillment for myself, but not necessarily that I want to be this solo artist.
So are you working on an album or an LP?
I'm like still on the fence with that. I had an album finished now for a few years. I do want to get back in the studio and record more songs. But I don't really know how I feel about that. You know, like, again, because like I said, to be honest with myself and the fans, you know, like, Total, you know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get it wrong. It's not that I don't feel like I can do this without them or whatever, but it's just like, it just didn't feel the same. To me, it just didn't feel right. So I will continue exploring the whole putting out a Kima album, EP, whatever. The beautiful thing is, whenever I feel like it, I have records ready, I can upload it and do it.
So I'll say this. So 26 years ago, did you ever expect that you would have such an impact in this industry?
That definitely was the goal. You know, Puffy, I can remember him saying as we were recording and in meetings and things he would say to us, he was just like, you know what? We need to make timeless music because 20 years from now, I still want bad boy and bad boy artists to be household names. So was it something that I expected? It wasn't far-fetched. You know, it definitely was our goal, and it's definitely what we worked towards, and it was definitely what we accomplished.
What's your fondest memory with Total?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What's your fondest memory with Total?
My fondest memory with Total, I would say, is shooting our first video for Can't You See. You know, it was so like we had like all our hometown friends out. We was in the middle of Central Park. It was just like a party. And I would think that that was my fondest total because it was really like an epic moment for us. You know, we thought we weren't going to get there and we did.
Do you have any regrets?
Any regrets? Not really. No, I mean, you can't really like, I can't have regrets about things I can't change. So I just try not to harp on stuff like that. If I was in total control of the situation, there would be no regrets. So how can I regret something, you know, I have no control over? You know, I can't control the fact that we're not a group. We're not still doing things. And so I just try not to let that weigh on my heart. My sound is bad. I'm sorry.
I think
Is it better?
Is it better?
Is it better? I don't know.
Okay. So how would you like your legacy to be?
I would want my legacy to be the fact that, you know, Kima has inspired, encouraged other women to go for their dreams, to stand on their own feet, and just, you know, not just give up on life, just in general, because just because one thing doesn't work out and may not go your way doesn't mean you can't move on to bigger and better things.
Okay. So Kima Marie, with school being around the corner and opening back up, how are you going to finagle the two?
Well, this ma'am says I'm not really gonna go back to school, so I guess I'll just be basically. I've always wanted to get homeschooled, so I guess I'm not really tripping. But I wanted to have a senior year. Like, this is my senior year. I wanted to have a nice little senior year. I wanted to go to my prom. I wanted to do all that.
And speaking of that, perfect. I have a senior with me.
Mm-hmm.
So Kima, you've experienced prom, graduation. So what feelings are going through you right now that your daughter won't be able to experience those things because of COVID-19?
I feel a little, I feel sad for her, you know, like definitely like she should be able to experience all them things, but I want her safe, you know. Yeah. We're going to do our best to make sure that it still be a memorable moment for her. Hopefully, you know, the whole school year won't be a wash and she'll be able to go to her prom and graduate and walk across the stage. But if nothing else, you know, they'll have a lot to talk about in history. So she can look at it that way. I lived through COVID-19. I didn't get to go to my prom, but we may close the block down and throw them a block party. There's a little crew of them in our neighborhood. We're going to do something. So it's still going to be a very memorable moment for her, regardless.
So are you one of those moms, if the grade isn't good, there's no studio time?
I don't have that problem with her. You know,
okay.
She's very responsible when it comes to school and her grades, and never really have too many issues with having to talk to her about her grades. She knows she needs to pull it together when she don't, and she do. She's a 3.75 GPA. She's a little on the fence. My dog wants to get some. You know, she's a little on the fence when it comes to college because she's a very like logical thinker, and she was just like, I don't know if I want to go away. College is expensive for no reason, so we don't know what we're gonna do in that era. But she definitely is like can if she wants to. So she's a good girl. You know, like we haven't had issues. We never have any issues with her in school and doing what she's supposed to do. Now, when it comes to doing the chores, the dishes, and stuff like that, that's a different story. We have to threaten her with no studio time and stuff like that, but not school.
Oh, okay. Well, Kima Marie, we wish you all the best during your senior year, and I know that you'll continue on with the good grades and keep the good job going.
Thank you.
And Kima.
Yes.
Any final words for your fans that supported you for two and a half decades?
I just want to say, keep supporting, keep praying for us. Like, our music is timeless. It's going to always be there. And we just love the love. And thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, and it's been a pleasure. And thank you for blessing us with timeless music. And Kima Marie, thank you for blessing us with new music that we can continue to live on through this generation.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Good.